Help! I'm Rita, 17. My only job are selling a rug in streets. After my grandma's operation, we are now struggling to pay all our debts and bills. IDK where I'm going to find money to sustain our daily needs, bills, rent, and the maintenance medicine of my grandma, frowny face. Your prayers have been heard and shall be answered. Everyone who is able, offer a bit of tiding to this individual, please. We're going to do a round of applause for Chris Chan, everybody. He's finally answered a prayer. My name is GiBi, and welcome to the Chris Chan Weekly Update, the first one of 2021. I'm going to be doing a few less than normal this month because January ad revenue sucks, and I have a lot of other projects I'm working on, so we're going to continue on with Chris's Twitter. Pollyanna says, I wish I could live in Quickville. I'd love to be a Sonichu. Chris Chan, is it possible to make this happen? And Helena says, die and you will get there. In other words, don't go killing yourself. Oh my Chris Chan. Mr. Simplistic, suicide is painless. I get that. Turns out that DB Sonichu and Helena are the same person. So there's a very long chapter that she posts about all of her fan art, and Chris is just like critiquing it as normal. Like him saying, actually, amongst each of the infinite dimensions, they have their respective original creators for the original fictional characters. Mr. Simplistic is like, isn't 1218? That's us. The creator dimension to C197? And Chris says, actually no. The creation of 1218 and C197 and our local subdimensions were a result of the Big Bang, and the events in between both dimensions ended up shaping a number of the events in the other as chronicled by those in one. In other words, it was a co-op in this set. So our two worlds were created simultaneously, but people in our dimension can create things in the other dimension, and people in the other dimension can create things in our dimension? I don't get it. So now we get to the big one. December 29th. The merge is on. This is what you all were waiting for, right? Everyone's like, GiBi, where's the new video? Why haven't you been doing a Chris Chan update? Don't you know he said that the merge was on was December 29th? Well, yeah, but you see, the merge isn't real. For context, this was tweeted 45 minutes after BabsCon announced that it would not have any conventions in 2021. Wanted to draw a picture of a character riding on a power line. It turned into a mild Sonichu redesign. Then Chris tweeted about the merge, and it became Sonichu riding a power line through a portal. Oh dear, hashtag Sonichu. Helena says, so are you okay? How is the merge doing? And Chris says, it is happening. We reached the Apex event less than 12 hours ago. I'm fine and well, while this body and I are doing our part in focusing our power and energy into the event. Expect the new year to roll in the greater surprises, very special guest stars, and adventures for you, yours, and the OCs and FCs you like. The merge will roll in on an instant like a flash. Prepare now as you will. It will be any moment. Lightning cookie? Moon? I don't know what that is. Hey everyone, vital lesson time. Here's another general outline of the dimension merge that our pair of universes will be taking an integral part in completing. Alright everyone, vital lesson time. Do not type anything until after I am done, please, because this will be screen capped, cropped, and shared on Twitter after I finish typing. Thanks. This involves the whole scale of the multiverses, as opposed to dimensions. This was also a question I've considered recently as the difference between the two. You see, 1218 is part of one multiverse set, while C197 is part of another coexisting multiverse set, but they each are divided and aside from their initial universes. The other universes, along with them in their respective dimensions, follow the similar rules. What? In 1218 and its bunches of alternate universes, you have what you have been seeing here and what y'all have been getting and doing. The differences being the slight differences and alt decision variables that have been going on and splitting off throughout time in this dimension. Okay, I get that part. He's saying that for 1218, which is the real world, the different kinds of dimensions are different in the same way that a philosopher would say that there are different dimensions. Basically, the classical way of looking at this is every time you make a decision, it creates two different universes, one where you made one decision, one where you made the other decision, and you just happen to inhabit one of those two. So Chris is saying that all of the alt universes for 1218 are created based on these decision variables. In C197 and its alternate universes, you have all of the, what you call, original and fictional characters and creations that have been existing and coexisting together, following the similar rules. But in that multiverse, they are more heavy in variety, where one universe can follow the rules of a single intellectual property guideline set, such as everyone being Dragon Ball Z around the world, or another being just Marvel everywhere. C197 is the neutral combination of all of those variables and IPs, minus apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic scenarios existent in different alt universes in that dimension, and other exceptions, including Steven Universe existing in an alt universe where World War II never happened. Okay, so this is also consistent with stuff that he's been saying. Basically, I have a very long video about this, but it's there's no visuals and the audio sucks, so you probably haven't seen it. Chris believes that every fictional character exists in one universe, and this is not a contradiction, like the fact that, they don't mention Sonic the Hedgehog in the Marvel movies. It's not a contradiction, because the Marvel movies are actually chronicling or mischronicling events from this dimension, and they themselves are peeking into a slightly different offshoot dimension. So that's kind of what he's talking about. There exists a dimension for each version of each fictional property, but also the main universe, the C197 universe, exists where all possible fictional characters live, minus the ones that are exceptions, like if it's a post-apocalyptic world or something. So basically, to put it extremely simply, imagine Who Framed Roger Rabbit. C197 is Toontown. So all of the toons from all the different shows live in this one universe. The cartoons that they make in that movie that are then enjoyed for consumption are fictional, and so they sort of play their parts in these parallel other universes. I don't know if you can see my hands or not. So this is still consistent with the stuff that he said. It also does make sense. You just have to really know what he's talking about, and I hope that I'm explaining it well. In my other video, I explained it as C197 is the platonic form of all of these fictional characters, and that they have other lesser forms in different universes. So there is one Tony Stark who exists in C197. There's also a Tony Stark who exists in a different universe, that's the MCU, and then a different one that's the comics, a different one that's the Ultimate Universe, and a different one that's the Disney Channel cartoon show with Iron Man in it, right? But all of those alternate versions are still based on the one that exists in C197. Chris continues. Now, between these two sets of multiverses, there are matching universes between the two dimensions, such as 1218 and C197. About each and every single universe in the OC dimension has a sibling universe in the creator dimension, to use the respective terms loosely on a neutral terminology sense. Throughout the two dimensions, each sibling universe have been merging together in their respective pairs from the very first that was the easiest to perform this down the line to the most difficult and needing the time to prepare for their respective merge. Our turn here is on the brink and will happen at any moment. We are the pair of original universes out of all the other pairs, and thus ours was not initially ready to merge as early as all of the other pairs. Our pair of universes will complete the full dimensional merge at this rate. So there's two kind of basic problems with what he's saying. One is that if we are the original universe, and so is C197, why aren't our universes called Universe 1 and Universe A1, right? Why would we be 1218? That doesn't make any sense. The other thing that doesn't make sense is, while it makes perfect sense that C197 is the main fictional universe, right? They're the platonic form universe. There is no specific reason that this universe that we're currently in is the main universe. If we say that at the start of the Big Bang, our universe was born, and that every decision everyone ever made branched the universe off into different branches, there's no reason that ours is the correct one. Like, why is this current universe that me and you and this Chris Chan are in the most correct universe that exists? He doesn't explain that, because it's nonsense. All universes would be equally valid. He continues, all of the other universe pairs have their respective defenses and events to deal with that required of them to merge as much as our two will as well. And this bunch of facts have finally come into conscious knowledge, so that I, the original most Sonichu Prime of Dimension or Universe C197, realize that is a brainbender to me as well. Your terminology and rulings are not perfect in any way, but it's doable to get the gist of the situation we are in at this precipice. So, take from all of that what you will. Thanks. Brianna, do I get to meet Shadow the Hedgehog or not? You will. He is alive. Not anymore. Oh, look, Shadow Hedgehog. He is dead boy. What the heck? Buildings are collapsing out there. I think I see a blue blur. Darn it, a golden thing is on the horizon. It is like a golden temple. My camera can't zoom in as much as my eyes can. Darn it, we are not 1218 or C197. Why me? Why us? Chris says, stay safe. We're working on things here. It is still 1218 and C197 merging, but there are still bad forces looking to harm and crossing over. Your prayers have been heard and will be answered. He critiques more of the DBZ Sonichu storyline by saying that Helena is either looking into the future of this dimension, or is accidentally accessing another Sonichu dimension, and accidentally referring to the Sonichu in her comic as Sonichu Prime. Basically, Chris just does not want to deal with this person's fan fiction. Used my highlighters to color Magi-chan. He looks super cool. And Chris says, sexy too. Stupid sexy Magi-chan. Alright guys, we're now on January 1st. This is a New Year's Day. Your terminology you have here, dimensions, universes, multiverses, and your various perceptions and definitions of them can be very confusing, but sortable. Dimension divides separates each universe within the respective multiverse sets, so each universe is also considered a dimension, but a part of its collective is sum of universes that also made up the greater dimension size. The process of the complete merge has been like a zipper of each respective pairs of dimensionally divided universes merged together. Being near the end of the greater sequence has allowed us between our respective 1218 and C197, and locally, to study and analyze the patterns and flows of the respective merges of the combined dimensions pairs before us, so that we can have better prep work be made, of which everyone has done and did a good job as possible. What? Okay, so that's actually a very good metaphor where he says that the two dimensions are like two different zippers. I get it. I guess that he is viewing the word dimension to mean a universe as it is currently, whereas universe can refer to a universe as it's like supposed to be. So we have a universe and dimension, and Sigma 97 is a universe and dimension, but once the dimensional barrier lifts, we become one universe. I think that's what he's saying. My apologies for the confusion with the terminology earlier. As I had questioned the locally perceived definition differences between dimensions and universes, it got confusing for me for a while as well, but this mind has clarity. Also, it should be very clear that that's just simply not what dimension actually means, but it's the way he's using it. Happy 2021. Stay safe and well in the upcoming days ahead. Where my merge at? Right in front of you and under your nose. Your clouded judgment, dense with cynicism, is preventing you from fully feeling and experiencing it for yourself. Unfortunately, that is common amongst the haters and bad individuals of this dimension. To all the peeps of this dimension 1218, I, Sonichu Prime of dimension C197, have been personally continuing to feel, foresee, see, and experience the events of the merge. Now, its apex event in progress. I have been keeping my experiences confidential within our allied groups, because they actually, genuinely believe the facts that I, Chris-chan, and the rest of us have been presenting to all of you. And they, along with the kind and supportive love and prayers from the good and neutral peoples of this dimension, have been more helpful than even freaking foes like Idea Guy, Blue Spike, and even Sockness. I would hope that the people helping him are more helpful than the bad guys. I don't understand. Anyway, this whole thing is one sentence. I wanted to read the picture here when this sentence ended, but it went on to here. Hey, feeling many, many heavy effects and events today, more so than yesterday. The merge events have reached the apex a few days ago. It can never, ever be undone or reverted until after the full completion of the dimension merge of our C197 and 1218 universes. With everything set up and good to go, my present task remains to get this body and I to C197 and then to Quickville. It will happen on an instantaneous moment that will happen any time presently. The still persisting problem is the waiting and the extensive deep meditations. All prayers and magic psychic support towards the outcome at the present time are greatly appreciated. Thank you all. And I knew that everything that is sent over this Twitter account is constantly on watch by the bad individuals and haters that either do not get it for themselves, are in their own respective denial, or get their rocks off by throwing slaps in our faces and turning a blind eye and ear to what is right in front of their cynical faces. You poisonous lot, that's me, guys, that's us. We're in the video. You poisonous lot do not know a darn thing, because you refuse to accept the present situations and what is obvious in front of you and offline. Your senses were numbed for far too long. The completion of the merge is at hand, so I speak freely of that reasoning. Your words do not reach us. We have no doubt in what is to come. I am not an a-hole. You haters are speaking for yourselves and projecting that upon us. I do not care for that intolerance. Chris, I, and all of the other deities are looking after each and every one surviving individual, regardless, between these two dimensions. We apologize deeply for the losses and sacrifices that had to be made. Believe me, we get it. P.S. I never said it was going down completed on January 1st. I said any moment at the present time. Yeah, he said any moment on December 28th, and it didn't happen by January 1st. I wonder how long it's going to take for him to just, pretend that he didn't say this at all. At Chris Chan, will Big Chungus arrive in the dimensional merge? In C197, Bugs Bunny himself would ask, what's a Chungus, Doc? No, that fatty exists in the alternate meme universe. There's a meme universe! Guys, new lore. There's a meme universe. I didn't know I needed that. I didn't know I needed a meme universe. But there is one. Like how bathing is better than Axe body spray, breakfast is better than an energy drink alone. This is from Lord Master. At Christian and Helena. I understand that you have dimensional godlike powers. My name is Master, Lord Master. I seem to be trapped in E1218, the E for E-space or exospace. My coordinates are negative rather than positive. I understand that you are in N1218, misnaming it as C instead of N for normal space. I was conducting an experiment to aid the dimension merge, and I accidentally sent myself into E-space. If you really do have such powers, I was hoping you could help get me back to N1218. I'm not sure how stable E-space is. I hope my transmitter is powerful enough to get it through to your coordinates, and that you decided to help me. Please, contact me if you get this. I have no idea if it went through. At Helena. And Christian says, your prayers have been heard and will be answered. Why do people feel the need to do this? Why are you role-playing? Join January 2020. Why? What are you doing, boy? Why? Someone named Greg Sipes? I don't know who this guy is. Says, Wingman G and I are officially My Little Pony bronies now. My brony name is Dorby, or maybe Dorby, short for adorable. And Chris says, welcome to the brony group, Greg. I like the art. Maybe your cutie mark can be the triangle with a heart inside of it, all yellow. Oh, balance between your body, mind, and soul, with all of the love in it for the ponies and other animals. Try the hamburger and fries. How is Barb doing? And that is the end for the weekly update, or let's just say early January update. These are not going to be weekly this month, unfortunately. I will have a lot more Sockness videos coming out. I also have SNT vs. Sonichu. I already read the entirety of the first book. I don't know what they're called. It's fan fiction. I finished SNT vs. Sonichu number 1. I'm going to do the second one. I'm going to do Chris's Weird chapter. Don't know if I'm going to do the third one. Depends how popular it is. But there's a lot of new stuff coming. Thank you for watching. Be careful when the merge happens.